All right, we are back with our resident brain health coach. Hey, Mom.
Hey, Jen. How you doing?
Good. So this is Becky Sharon with Regain the Brain, and we are excited because we're on our final step. But we had a few technology issues, and you thought this would be like a great way to show the whole process and how like step 5 works, right?
Right. Yeah. So see, we'll tell you step 5 at the end, but we're going to talk about every step along the way with our difficulty with technology, right?
I mean, I don't know anybody that like has difficulty with technology, so I just feel like I'm just kidding.
No, it never happened.
I know. You have the worst technology.
I do. I'm probably the only one in the world that iPhones don't work with me because they won't stay charged, and I don't even know why. So technology is a constant challenge.
I think it's your energy force is so strong that you just take over the iPhone.
It must be. That's good. All right. So the first step, do you remember the first step?
The first step, yes. Know what you want.
Know what you want. Okay. So today we knew what we wanted, didn't we? What did you want today?
To record this.
We wanted to record the last step of the podcast. We were pretty excited, weren't we?
Yeah, we actually, let's back up. So we're learning how to get everything that you want. I mean, I really wanted to record the whole thing the first day, but you made us wait.
That's true. And so there you go. So you didn't give up though, did you? No, because if we recorded it all the first day, we wouldn't have this fun technology challenge, first of all, because we didn't have a technology challenge day 1.
No, we didn't. You're right.
There we go. And it takes, can you jump to the top of the mountain the first day? Can you climb Mount Everest the very first day?
I mean, no, but that doesn't mean I don't want to.
I know, that's right. It doesn't mean you don't want to, but you want to make sure you have the steps in place so that if you have a technology challenge or any challenge, which we know happens,
yeah.
But we think it's not going to happen for us.
Right.
Even though we know what happens. Right. So we set a goal. We know what we want.
Okay.
We want this podcast all done.
Right.
And then it can't be all done.
No. Well, and you made a good point too, that it's always like when you're defining what you want and then you go to do it, there's like something little stops you, like whatever it is. So in this case, it was like the internet was giving me problems, you know?
Right. And it is usually, for the most part, there can be big things that get in the way, but people, when something big gets in the way, it seems much more comfortable to go, okay, well, that was big. So, I understand that. But when it's something little, like technology is basically a little problem. You use technology all day, every day. So if it's not working exactly the way you want it, it's something that it has to be dealt with every day. Right. So we'll classify it as a small problem because it's something that's dealt with every day. All right. Just like getting up in the morning, just like doing anything that we set our mind to do.
Yeah.
But is your whole goal today a podcast?
No, I have a lot of goals.
You have a lot of goals, right? And you have a big goal, don't you? Like
today?
A big vision for every day, a big vision you're going after.
Oh yeah. And overall for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you know know what you want, know the big vision. So all these steps to get there are very small steps, right? But they're the process of doing them over and over, which is what gets there. So the big goal is what you want. The little things remind you. You want to have the big goal and you want to have the vision, whether it was your properties with having those properties paid off, with the mortgages, a copy of the mortgages posted on a vision board so that you paid in full, anything like that. Right?
Yeah.
So then if technology was in the way, what would you do? What did we do today?
Well, we just kept trying different things and we finally got it.
And we found, right. So it wasn't, oh my gosh, okay, so I tried 1 or 2 or 3. We actually probably tried 5 or 6 or 7. There was a lot. Yeah. There was a lot.
Yeah.
Right? But it wasn't like, is it working now? No. Okay, I can so somewhere else. So Jen, it's still not working. And what did you say?
Yeah, well, I can see like what you're saying because it's like, okay, so there's so many times where we're trying to make calls, like we know we need to call our sphere or whatever, and then it's like the technology doesn't work. It like the dialer won't work, and it's like, okay, well, it would be so easy to be like, well, it's not supposed to work. I guess I'm not really meant to call these people.
Right. And I'll call at
Later.
4.
Yeah.
Later. No. Or maybe tomorrow. I can do it tomorrow. I did my time today. See, I blocked it out. Time's up. Okay. Yeah. So if we set a goal that said, I'm going to call for an hour in a day, and we have technology problems, did we accomplish our goal? The hour's gone.
No, that wasn't the goal. Yeah, the goal was to do the work, not just the hour.
Right. So then what happens is we can change our focus, and we get focused on, well, I did my hour. I didn't make any call, but I did my hour. Right.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of ways that you want to keep your vision out there really far, so that little things just go, okay, next, until you get it figured out, and we got it figured out. Because really we could have recorded, I still could have recorded, you still could have recorded, and we could have put it together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was lots of options. All right.
So second step is know what you don't want. So I guess would that in this case be like, I know that I didn't like, what would that be here? Know what I don't want.
No, we don't. You don't want to let anything get in your way.
Oh, well, yeah, that's just normal.
See, I think it's funny. I want to bring up that conversation because we were talking and I said, so I want to do something that kind of highlights all of these steps. And I said, doesn't it ever happen? What would happen if we didn't get this managed? You go, no, we'd figure it out. Right. I said, do you know people don't figure it out? Like they just stop. They do. Like you were so shocked. Your mindset is never that way, right? It just is not an option. There is never an option of stopping. It's how, what else, the words you say. So you're not feeding the problem. You're not focused on the problem. It's what else can I do? It's not, you don't keep saying, well, my technology is messed up. My phone's not working, this and that. It's no, what else can I do? Who has a phone? Who can I borrow? Whose phone can I borrow? Mm-hmm. Where can I go that the internet's working better? You're thinking about action steps instead of letting your mind stop at, I have a technology problem. I tried a few things, it didn't work. So it didn't work.
Okay, so with the feeding what you want and starving what you don't want, that you're saying is the feeding what you want is to be thinking of the ways around it to continue your goal, and the feeding and the starving what you don't want, if you were feeding what you didn't want, it would be just keeping saying that. I can see how like if we were like stuck in that, it's actually not helpful. Like why bother?
Well, it's what you said. You get stuck and you cannot see options when you keep thinking about what you don't have or don't want or what you're experiencing that's difficult. The experience of it is it's difficult.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Right.
I don't know what else to do.
Right.
Right. Right. So then when we just keep saying, I don't know, well, if you did know, what would or if you could try something, what could be? I mean, it can even be, you do it very simply when you're teaching, when you're working with realtors, you'll tell people to stand up instead of sit down, right? You'll tell them to walk around. Mm-hmm. You have all kinds of just movement. There is action. You feed what you want, you're taking action. When you're feeding what you don't want, you are not taking action.
No, I can see that like so clearly because I mean, there are times that like I get stuck in something like, oh, it's not working, or like I feel this way, or like, and it's like, I can see now that we're like naming it sort of and like understanding it, it's like, oh, well, if I keep saying that to myself, it's only focusing on that thing that I don't like, I don't want, it's not in line with my goals. As a matter of fact, it's like the opposite of what I'm wanting to do.
It gives you more. It expands it. It's so funny. What did you say? I'm sorry.
I said we're messed up people.
We are. Well, yes, we're really not messed up. We just think that conversation that goes on in our head is logical. We think it's like talking to a friend, somebody that's really knows something. That conversation in your head doesn't know anything. It just knows whatever you tell it. You tell it that you keep having technology problems, that's all it will see. You tell it that. That's all you say, that's all you'll see. You keep telling yourself you're tired, how do you feel?
You feel tired.
Yeah, and you can keep, if you tell somebody, if you say, oh, I just feel great today. So then you start, I just feel great. And you start moving. It's like magic. Like you really, when you start saying things that you, even if you're not that, if you start saying it, you start moving to be that, because your body, your brain will help you get what you want if you just tell it. And it just listens to it. It doesn't,
like
it doesn't hold on to emotion. What?
Like fake it till you make it.
It is, but it's a faking it of something you know, like faking feeling good. Well, I feel good. You start moving to actually feel good because you're telling your body, I feel good. You're making a statement that's true. Then your body goes, okay, I feel good. And you start moving. I'm tired. Oh, I am tired. Oh my gosh, I have to go to bed. I'm tired. I can't keep my eyes open anymore. And you start moving in. Your body will move with what you say. If you really start paying attention, you'll notice your body moves with what you say.
I like this, and I'm thinking of like an application about it. So like if I wanted, like let's say that I remember when I was first starting in real estate, and I was like, and I learned, like I remember the second I learned this, that like somebody in real estate could do like over 100 deals. And I was like, I want to do over 100 deals. I think this was like my second year I met somebody that did that. I was like, I want to do that. And then it was like, okay, well, then I would go visit agents that did over 100 deals. And I would ask them, like, what is their schedule? What do they do? I looked at how they dressed. I looked at see like what time they got up, what was their morning routine, like all this stuff. And it's like, okay, well, how is that different from what I do? And then it's like, oh, well, they get up a lot earlier than me. So
there you go.
I should get up early, and they do these things before they get up or before they start working. I should do these things. Oh, they start working and they make cold calls. Okay, I should do that. And it was like filling in that gap of behaving like they behaved. And then I think it would have been within a couple of years, 2-3 years, I was doing over 100 deals.
There you go. So you're focused and you're taking actions with what you want. You had the goal. You knew exactly what you wanted. Mm-hmm. You know exactly. So now find the people that know how to do that, right? And do what they do.
Right. That's it.
Yeah. That's it. That's all there is to it. It sounds so simple, right? I told you, this is simple.
It just seems Abraham, like it should be harder. Like we always say all the time. I mean, I always say all the time. I said it even today. Like, if you want to know like how to make money, you don't ask like somebody that has no money. You ask somebody that has money. How did you make money?
Right. Yeah. What are you doing? What aren't you doing?
Yeah.
It's true. But even if you didn't know somebody, say you didn't know anybody that had in today's world, I don't know anybody that's doing 100 deals. I don't know anybody except you, but you won't tell me because I'm your mom. So what else could you do if you didn't know anybody?
Well, there's always somebody, or even if you didn't know, like there's always like reaching out, like Facebook, asking like other people, who do they know that do that, looking at YouTube. I mean, there's a million ways, especially now, to connect with people. Like I'm looking for somebody that does over 100 deals. Who do you know? Somebody knows somebody.
Somebody knows somebody. Or there's books, Napoleon Hill. There's books. They went and interviewed all of the people that were magnates. They were millionaires back in the 20s. Right. It's just amazing. Right. And they learned what they did, right? Yeah. And you can read what they did. And they had, an imaginary board they used actually their brain power and imagined a board of all of these people. Can you imagine a board of all of these people? And these realtors do over 100 deals.
Right.
Okay. And start having, your brain, it's amazing how that works.
Yeah.
You start taking actions to get you closer to that because you didn't know it wasn't that it wasn't there. It's not that you didn't know how, you just weren't, you can only see so much. You tell your brain what you see and that's what it tells you. But if you say, I want 1 million deals, all of a sudden somebody shows up that you never thought, right? It's like, it's amazing. They just show up.
So that's why you have to be clear about what you want and be clear about what you don't want. And then you said feed it, and feed what you want, starve what you don't want. What was 4?
Starve what you don't want. Take action.
Ooh,
well, and 4 is take action.
Oh, take action.
Right? And then 4 is take action. You know, feed what you want, starve what you don't want, and be sure you have emotion and you take action. There's all those things, and make sure you're clear. You know, clear. I can say I want to sell my house tomorrow, and I bet tomorrow I can sell my house.
Yeah.
But would $1 be enough?
I mean,
right?
Not for me.
Right. Or I could say I want to sell my house for a record-breaking profit. Okay, well, that could probably happen, but how long are you willing to wait?
Right.
Right. So, or what would it take to do that? You know, so it's the questions that you ask along the way, but it's more importantly the questions that lead to actions. It's what you said. You not only talk to them, you actually took an action by seeing them, and then you put that into action in yourself. And it's not gathering all the information before you take an action.
No.
As you learn, what is it? So you didn't go to 10 realtors and then take an action. What did you do?
I just, whatever the first one did, I implemented the stuff, and then I went to the next one and saw what was the same, what was different, see what I could tweak. Because it's not like whatever worked for them is 100% what would work for me. Correct. So like it has to but until I could talk to, so I would just try different things. And then if I thought there was something that wasn't quite right, I would talk to maybe the next person about that specific thing.
There you go.
Because then if I knew how to fix it, I would just do that. But like something doesn't seem right and I don't really know how to like make it right, like whatever it is, you know?
Right, right. And so, or make it go faster or whatever it is. Then you can when you take an action off what you learned, you have better questions. Yeah. So you can get there faster. You get closer, right? And that's the key. You can't gather up. So people human beings are the funniest creatures. We put all of this emphasis on, oh my God, the internet's not working. What do I do? And then I have to get all this information. I can't do anything until I know. Well, how will you know unless you do something?
You can't. You
cannot. You already know what you know, right? You're doing what you're doing.
Right.
If you want to do something different, you actually have to find out what that might be and then take a step to do that.
Right.
All right.
That makes sense. What's 5?
Yeah. All right. So here we go. Okay. So are you ready?
I feel like I already am getting what I want. How can it be better?
Because that's what it is. When you start doing that, you are getting what you want right there. So you can let go of the outcome. You can let go of a resistance. You can let all of that fade away and know that every step you're taking, you're already getting there. You don't have to worry about at all. You can just let it go. You can be at, oh my gosh, it's already here. I'm taking actions. I feel it. I can see it. I know it. I don't have to worry about it.
It's like the confidence of knowing that when you set your mind to something like that, you can actually do it. Like it's not, is that what you're saying?
It is. Well, it's beyond that. It's what we went back to the first step. It's what we did with the internet, with our issues. It's like, if we don't let go of the outcome and just know every single step, there can be 100 roadblocks. There could be 1,000. But if it's not, it doesn't matter. You're just taking actions and you continue to learn and grow. And you're saying, is this getting me closer? Or is this getting me farther away? Is this getting me closer? Is this getting me farther away? So you're learning, you're doing, you're recalibrating or checking in, and then learning, doing, growing. You get there.
That's so
cool. You don't have to worry about it. You know you'll get there as soon as you learn it, and you're going to learn it as fast as you can because you're doing what you need to do to learn it. So you don't know when it's going to happen. It's just going to happen.
Right.
So when doesn't matter. If I got all hung up on when, well, it needs to happen Friday or I'm not doing it. Oh. That just stopped you. You know? That's just like another way. That's another roadblock that gets in the way. Well, you know, I didn't make my phone call today.
So
okay.
I'm not doing it for the rest of the week.
So I'm done. I can't do it. And the next day, I promise you it'll be harder. I promise
it'll be way harder.
Yeah, but letting yourself off the hook like that is having you decide that you know when it should be, and that's when it should happen, and you have total control. You only have control over your thoughts. You only have your thoughts are your superpowers, and only you can take the action. That person that you talked to, they were already doing their actions. They were selling 100 deals.
Right.
So they're happy to share with you. They're happy to tell you what, and some things worked and some things didn't.
Yeah,
but
that's
they're
interesting.
very clear.
Yeah, because and a lot of them are happy to share with you. And what I realized when you were just saying that is people ask me all the time, and I'm happy to share. And then people ask me, well, why do you want to share? And I'm like, well, first of all, there's enough to go around. But also, second of all, it doesn't even matter because most people aren't going to do it.
Right. So it goes back to the very first thing.
Know what you want.
Yep. And be very clear and know what it is, how it feels, and what that's going to get. You're really after the feeling. You're really after. Like you said, you're already there. You're already there because you're after the feeling.
Yeah.
And that feeling will get you everything that you want.
That makes sense. Now. I just thought of another example too. There's sometimes and I've talked about this, I think on the podcast too. It's like, I thought that success was doing more than 100 deals, having a big team. I mean, I must have tried 100 different ways, not 100, maybe I'll say 10 or 12 different
ways. A lot of different ways.
To have a team. And then I don't know what happened, but I think it was just a couple of years ago, it hit me like a ton of bricks. That's not what I want. That's why it's not working, because it's not what I want.
Exactly. Right? You were trying to make what you thought it should be.
Yes.
And make it fit into what you want, instead of continuing to get clear about what you want.
Right.
Because also, it's like that for the outcome. You may think it's a team, right?
Right.
How do you know? How would you know that quicker? How would you be clearer faster?
Well, to your point, I probably, knowing what I know now, I would have asked different questions, and I would have realized that my whole thing, I would have gone back to why am I a real estate agent in the first place? And for me, I'm a real estate agent to buy investment properties.
Correct. Right.
So then if that is true, then profitability is key. So then if that's true, then if I go back to say, okay, what is the most profitable setup of a team? It's never a bunch of people.
Right.
The math doesn't work.
Goal.
Huh?
Right. It's a different goal.
It's a totally
if you have a bunch of people, it's a totally different goal.
Yeah.
And it's a great goal for the people that want that.
Yeah. That's not me.
Right. And if you go anywhere and talk to 5 people, what they really want has a unique difference. They're all uniquely different.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why with energy, how does it feel? Because you would be able to tell very quickly. You just said different questions. Different questions would give you that different feeling. So you would become more and more confident that feeling shows up, even if you don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
Because we think we need to know how. And when we get uncomfortable about knowing how, we think that's our stopping point. But that's not it. Learning how has an uncomfortableness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right. Doing something new is uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But knowing how it feels, you know the difference between interviewing 20 people to get 5 people on your team, or looking at 20 properties to find 5 potential investment properties.
Right.
You know the difference. And it's a feeling.
Exciting.
See, it is. So that's why know what you want and know how it feels.
But I think having somebody like you to kind of witness the reaction, right? Because we've all had this where somebody's talking to us and asking us advice, and they're saying one thing, but then when they say this whole other thing, they light up. And they don't know they're lighting up. So sometimes it helps to have that other person.
Exactly. It happens all the time.
Huh? What'd you say?
Right. It happens all the time. I said it's really true. It happens all the time. It's that we don't see inside ourselves because we're so focused on that. This is what we have to do. This is what we're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. This is the right thing to do. We have all of this. We're not free to be.
Right.
We're not free to be. We have this decision we've made. We don't know we've made it, but we made it, that it has to be a team.
Yeah.
I mean, you really have tried in so many ways, right? It has to be a team.
Right.
It's a beautiful thing. And having someone that can clearly hear it and has your best interest at heart. There's very few people. It's not usually your best friend. They just want you to be happy. It's not usually a parent, honestly. But you'll call me. I know you call me because you tell me what you're looking for, and then I can hear it, right? Yeah. Or you just want to be, you tell me what you want. Yeah. But so having someone, it's really powerful, and it makes all the difference to getting there faster. When you're doing the things you want, that will get you there faster.
Well, I think it sounds like to me, it gets that first step clearer, the knowing what you want clearer. So if we wanted to, that's something we could hire you to do, right? Like we could call you and say, hey, okay.
Right. So what's really fun is that you could have a group of people that want to do this together, and they can call me as a group. I work with groups, or I work with individuals, and this is what I want. And then we really start working, and it's very quick. It's just simple. It's really simple. So doesn't have to be complicated. It's not like you need a lot of sessions. You just need each step clarity, and then you come back for the next step, and you come back. So, it's 5 steps. Clearly I do lots of people with 5 sessions. It's easy. Yeah. It's easy. You know what you want, and you start getting the emotion. It's so much more fun.
That's awesome. I love it.
It's easy. Yeah. So, and then you just get to have fun with the process, and you get what you want.
And you get to play.
And that was my promise. Yeah. You get to play. And that's what I said to you when we started. I said, so let's play and see what shows up, because that's the most fun.
Yeah.
Right. So it is so easy, and it's so powerful, and it's what everybody deserves in life. Yeah. So if your audience, anybody thinks they deserve this, they need to call. Let's work together. 859-992-4361. We all deserve it, right?
Say your number again. I cut you off. Sorry.
No, 859-992-4361. And everybody, you deserve it. Everybody deserves it.
Yeah, definitely.
So much more fun, isn't it?
We really appreciate you coming on and sharing this. It has been eye-opening. It's a lot of stuff that is logical. We've heard it before. We've read it in all the business books. But it's really fun to go through the whole process and just see how all these tiny things, they're not big. It's stuff that can just be accomplished now. It's not that big of a deal.
Right. It really isn't. And we make it a big deal, but you see it now. You've learned over time, right? It's been so amazing to watch that. And now very quickly, and you can get there very fast. You set it up and you go for it. You do it so naturally. It becomes natural. It becomes who you are.
This is wonderful. Yeah. I appreciate you being on. So and that's Becky Sharon from Regain the Brain. You want to do your phone number one more time, Mom?
859-992-4361, or Becky@regainthebrain.com.
Oh, perfect. All right. Well, thanks, Mom. Have a good day.
Thank you. All right. You too.